my name is Jenna, and I will be leading you through the Vinyasa practice today. Sorry for this weirdly placed sun. Feel free to get any props that you like in your practice. Know that we will be spending some time on hands and knees. So if you like a towel or a blanket for underneath your knees, feel free to get that now. Or you can use blocks as well. So feel free to get any of those things. Also, perhaps a strap as well. We'll be playing around a little bit with this arm stretch. So if you like a strap, or you can also use that same towel to hold behind your hands if you can't reach your fingertips together. So go ahead and pause this video, get any props you need now, and we will get started laying down on your backs. When you come to lay down on your back, take the feet a little wider with the knees bent, flat on the mat. And then let your knees knock in towards one another and bring one hand over your low belly and one hand over your heart. Let your arms and your shoulders just relax. And let your next breath out just settle down and feel the belly button draw a little in towards the spine. And then let your next breath in fill you all the way up, creating space in the rib cage. And then a big breath out, maybe letting it out the mouth, arriving onto your mat and into your practice. Take a big breath in for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 4. And exhaling for 4. Continue your breath moving in this pattern, a little slower and a little deeper than natural. And then I'd like to bring the attention into the hand above your heart. And just feel the warmth of your hand there. And I'd like to imagine that inside of your rib cage, in your heart, there was a little bench. And on that bench, you could sit there. And I'd like to imagine that there is your little I there, the single letter I, that voice that's inside your head. It's just sitting there on that bench. And then you, the watcher, the big letter I, is sitting next to the little I. Just imagine yourself sitting there, and when you find your dialogue start to wander off up into your mind, just come back to that bench there again, sitting with your little I, and just sharing a few breaths here together. In this practice of yoga, we not only move the body, but we also start to recognize that we are not that running of your thoughts, but we are that witness, the higher perspective that lives inside of us. It doesn't mean that the ego or your little I goes away, but you learn to be with it without becoming it. One more big breath here, filling the lungs. And a full breath out, letting it go. And then from here, slowly start to blink the eyes open, find a point on the ceiling to bring into focus. And then from here, heel toe the feet so they're now hips width distance with the feet flat on the mat. Take the palms face down alongside your hips. And then tuck your tailbone so you feel your low back flatten into the mat and start to lift your hips up away from the floor. Now from here, sweep the arms up and over your head until they come back and the thumbs touch the floor first. Take a big breath in. And as you breathe out, slowly lower the hips and the arms at the same time. And come back to that count of 4 again with your breath. Inhaling for 4, hips rise as the arms reach back. And exhaling to lower 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 4, finding this slow meditative practice. You can close the eyes again if you'd like, lowering for 4. Feel your body land, lifting up, slowly lowering down. Take one more time, inhale, lifting. And exhale, slowly lower the hips and the arms at the same time. Now from here, keep your hips and your hands on the ground and straighten the legs up towards the ceiling for Waterfall Pose. Now from here, reach your arms up towards the ceiling as well, and then reach your arms up towards your toes until your upper back and your head lifts up away from the floor. And then find just a few pulses there, reaching for your toes. You can use your exhale out the mouth, just making a few sharp exhales as you reach. One more time here, and then keep the legs up. Slowly lower the upper back in your head and the arms back behind you. Now from here, lower the right straight leg down towards the floor, hovering the heel maybe about 6 inches away from the floor. And then from there, reach your right arm up towards your left toes. Maybe you can touch. And then switch sides, right arm reaches back as the left leg lowers. Reach your left fingers for your right toes. And then again, switch and continue on your own, switching legs here, one to the other. Let's take one more time each leg. And then the next time your right leg is up and your left fingers are reaching, pause there. Now cross the right leg over the left, weaving your legs, inner thighs touch. Cross the right arm under your left, finding an eagle pose on your back. You can either hold onto your shoulders or you can double wrap your arms. And Deepa, you can still be elevated, your upper back. From here, take the elbows back and straighten the legs a little bit forward. And then as you breathe out, hug the elbows in towards the knees and round in. Inhale to open up, just 2 more of these. Exhale to round in. One more time, inhale, opening up. And exhale, rounding it. And now slowly lower the foot and the hand and the upper back down. Release the arms and release the legs and pause there. Take your feet flat onto the mat and breathe. Feel that little fire in your core that you started there. And then from here, take the hands back down alongside your hips and straighten the legs up towards the ceiling again. Now take the arms back behind you onto the floor. And now this time lower the left heel towards the floor, keeping the legs straight. Reach your left fingers up for your right toes. And then we'll switch sides and taking just a few more of these, trying to touch the toes with your opposite fingers as you lower the opposite straight leg to hover. And then the next time that your left leg is lifted and your right arm is up, pause there. Cross the left leg over the right. Cross the left arm under the right. So your left elbow and knee are the closest things together. With an inhale, straighten the elbows back, take the legs forward. And with an exhale, round in, curling. Inhale to open up. And exhale to round in. Just one more time. Inhale. Feel that little shake as you round in. And then slowly lower the foot down, release the twist, release the arms. And now shift the hips just a little over to your right and let the knees fall over to the left in a gentle twist. Look over your right shoulder as you reach the left arm out to the left, right arm out to the right. And try to surrender the right arm down towards the floor. You might take the left hand on top of the knee to deepen, or if you want a little less twist, prop up a pillow underneath your left outer thigh. Take a big breath into your right ribs as if you had gills there, and a big breath out. Now slowly bring the legs back through center. Shift your hips off to the left and let your knees fall over to the right, and you can look over your left shoulder. You might take your right hand onto your outer thigh or slip that pillow underneath the outside of your right thigh to make the twist a little less deep today. Take one more breath into your left ribs. And one more breath out. And then slowly bring the legs back through center, drawing the knees in. Find just a little rock and roll up and down your spine until you're able to shift forward over your shins into a tabletop, or shifting the shins to one side and then coming into a tabletop position. And if you'd like a blanket underneath your knees, please feel free to find your blanket and unfold it there, or a towel. Now from there, straighten just your right leg back, tucking the toes into the mat. And then find your balance. Take your left arm forward with the pinky facing towards the floor. Now from your right heel, you engage the right glute and lift the right leg away from the floor until it's about the height of your hip. Take a big breath in, reaching through the heel and your fingers. And as you breathe out, knee to elbow underneath you, round. If you can touch knee and elbow, press them into each other. Inhale, reach forward and back. And exhale, curling in. One more time, inhale, reaching forward and back. And exhale, curling in. Now this time as you reach forward and back, bend your right knee and cartwheel your left arm back. Try to hold on to the right foot with your hand, and then kick a little into your hand to open up that right front of your thigh, hip, and even into that left shoulder as you kick. One more breath. And then slowly release the left hand and your right knee down to the mat. And then from here, we'll find one cat-cow. With an inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest and the tailbone, look forward and up. And as you exhale, press the hands and the shins down, round your spine. Come into your neutral spine with your breath in. And then left leg lengthens behind you, tuck the toes into the mat first. Reach the right arm forward, take the pinky to face the floor. And then find your balance. Start to lift the left heel up by engaging the left glute. Take a big breath in. And as you breathe out, knee to elbow, rounding in underneath you. Press if you can. Inhale, reach forward and back. Exhale, knee to elbow underneath you. Curl chin to chest. Inhale, forward and back. Last time. Exhale, knee to elbow underneath you. Now this time as you inhale and reach forward and back, bend the left knee and cartwheel the right arm back, trying to hold on to your foot. And then from here, start to kick into your hand, opening up that left hip flexor, left quad, until you feel the right shoulder pull back. One more breath. And then slowly release the hand and the knee down to the mat. Finding your tabletop. One more cat-cow. With an inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin and your tailbone. Exhale, round. Curling your spine. Now from here, tuck your toes, find your tabletop, breathe in. And as you breathe out, find a downward facing dog, taking the hips up and back. Now from here, we'll hold just a few breaths. You can pedal out the feet as you move. Now if you can't lay on your belly today, feel free to skip these low cobras and you might come into a few cat-cows. Or if you'd like, you can come into a puppy dog pose. From here, inhale, pull forward into your plank pose. And then find the wrists right underneath your shoulders. Firm the legs. Take the heels so they're right over the balls of your feet. And then take the chin a little bit back. We're going to take 3 chaturanga push-ups. If you'd like the knees down, feel free to take them down. Otherwise, keep them lifted, shifting forward with your exhale, lower maybe a quarter or halfway. Pause, hover. Inhale to press back up. Lowering halfway or just bend the elbows slightly. Just try to keep them hugging in. Press back up. One more time, lowering. And then lower all the way down with control. Try to land in one piece. Untuck the toes, finding a low cobra. Lift your chest forward and up as you press into the tops of your feet. Exhale to lower down. Low cobra again with your breath, and roll the shoulders back and down away from the ears. Exhale, lower down. Last time, inhale, low cobra, lift the heart forward and up. Exhale, lower down. Press up into a tabletop or a plank pose with your inhale. And with your exhale, hips back and up into your downward facing dog. And start to walk your feet up into your hands until you can find a forward fold at the top of your mat. Heel toe your feet wider than your outer hips and bend your knees, finding a ragdoll variation of your choice. If you'd like, you can interlace the hands behind your head, hugging the elbows in and tractioning the spine down. If you have a tight low back today, let your hands be on the floor or onto some blocks to support so you're not hanging all your weight from your low back. Take one more big breath in. Let it go as you breathe out, feeling the stress from your day just melt off your upper back. Now this time as you breathe in, find a halfway lift. Start to straighten the legs a little to lengthen the backs of the legs. And as you exhale, fold down, again, belly to thighs, let it go. Halfway lift as you breathe in, press into your feet, rock the weight a little forward. Exhale to fold, melt down, surrender. This time as you breathe in, circle the arms out to the sides, around and up. As you press into the feet, look up. And as you breathe out, circle, take the hands down into heart center. Heel toe your feet a little bit closer. Take a big breath in. And a full breath out. Moving through a sun salute A, inhale, circle the arms around and up as you firm your legs. As you exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold, find the surrender here. Inhale, rise, chest rises, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step your right leg and then your left leg back to high plank, and with your exhale, lower half or all the way down. Inhale, low cobra, upward facing dog, or skip and find cat-cow here. With an exhale, downward facing dog, hips up and back. Full breath in, full breath out. As you breathe in, bend the knees, look forward. As you breathe out, walk, step, or take a light hop up to the front, finding halfway lift with a breath in. As you breathe out, fold down over your legs. Inhale, circle the arms around and up, reach up as you press into the feet. As you exhale, hands to heart center, coming back to your intention over and over. Inhale, circle the arms around and up, firm the legs. Exhale, forward fold, soft knees, and then take the hips up to lengthen. Inhale, halfway lift, find that ironing out of your spine. Exhale, hands down, left leg, right leg back, high plank pose. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, Chaturanga, lowering half or all the way. Inhale, low cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full breath in and a full breath out. As you breathe in, bend the knees and look forward. Breathe out to walk up or step hop up to the front. Halfway lift with your breath in. Exaggerate the breath out as you let it go. Breathe in, circle the arms around and up. Get taller every time. Exhale, hands to heart center, back into your body. One more time, inhale, circle the arms around and up. Find this ancient movement as you fold down, saluting the sun one more time. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, breathe out, Chaturanga or your Vinyasa here. Halfway, pause if you can before opening up into your back bend. Down dog with your breath out. One breath in and a one breath out. Now bring the legs together. We'll move on with the right leg up as you breathe in, heel first. Bend your right knee and open your right hip over your left. Now keep your hands pressing evenly, and then I'll do some ankle circles with your right foot, maybe 5 times in one direction, and then 5 times in the other direction. Now from here, straighten the right leg and drop the right hip until it's even with the left. And with the breath out, knee to nose, look forward and step the foot between the hands. Now from here, heel to the right foot, a little out to the right. Firm your back leg, get light on your hands, and then press into your right heel to rise up, high crescent lunge. Now in this high crescent lunge, for a moment, just bend your back knee a little bit so you can take the tailbone towards the floor. And then from there, lunge a little more into your front knee. And now start to straighten the back leg as much as feels comfortable in your low back. Interlace the hands above your head and take the pointer fingers to stay straight up. Take a big breath in, take the fingers a little higher. And as you breathe out, just a little side bend to your right. As you breathe in, come back up into your high lunge. Keep the fingers interlaced. As you breathe out, start to lean forward over your front leg until you're in a diagonal with your back leg. From here, option to keep your arms like this for a more advanced version of Warrior 3, or you can bring the hands to prayer in front of your heart. Start to lift your back leg as you make a capital letter T with your body. Start to point the left toes towards the floor. Reach the arms forward if they're forward, toes back. Big breath in. Landing back in your high crescent lunge with your breath out. Bring the hands down to frame your front foot. Keep the left hand down on the floor, reach the right arm up for a big open twist. Draw that right hip back. And as you breathe out, bring the hand down to frame your foot, step back into your high plank, maybe lowering through a vinyasa there, or moving right into your down dog before switching sides. Always taking care of your body today. From your down dog, bring the legs together, lift your left leg up. Bend your left knee, stack the left hip over the right. From there, hands stay grounded evenly. Rotate the left ankle about 5 times in one direction, and then 5 times in the other direction. And then from here, square the hips, drop the left leg straight behind you, and as you exhale, knee to nose, step the foot between the hands. Heel toe the leg a little out to the left, firm your back leg, and then press into your feet to come and rise up, high crescent lunge. Interlace the hands above your head, pointer fingers stay up. Bend your back knee a little bit so you can take the tailbone down towards the floor, and then lunge a little more into your front knee, so the front knee's right over the heel. And then straighten the back leg as much as feels comfortable in your low back. Take a big breath and straighten the arms. Glue the biceps to your ears, and with your exhale, side bend just a little to your left. Breathe in, come back up through center. And as you breathe out, hinge your body forward until you come into a diagonal with your back leg. Move slow. From here, option to keep the arms like this or bring the hands to heart center. Start to lift your back leg up for a warrior 3, tipping your body about parallel to the floor. Take a big breath in, and then slowly land back into your high crescent lunge. Bring the hands down, step back into your chaturanga or into your downward facing dog. Finding your breath again in your down dog, settling in. Take a full breath in. Breathe it out. As you breathe in, soften the knees, look forward. As you breathe out, walk step or take a light hop up to the front. Halfway lift with a breath in, and with a breath out, fold down over the legs. Inhale, root to rise. Sweep the arms all the way around and up as you press into the feet. Exhale the hands down to heart center. And inhale, sweep the arms up. Keep the legs active. Keep the arms up, hips down. Chair pose. Bend your knees, bend at your hips. Flex the toes up towards the shins, lift them up, spread them wide, and then place them back down onto the ground. Now for a moment, reach the fingers out of the hips as you take the hips down towards the floor, away from the fingers. Take a big breath in. And as you breathe out, forward fold, dive down. We're going to do sun B. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, chaturanga. Walk, step, or hop back. Finding your flow here, inhaling into your up dog, keeping it nice and rhythmic, not moving too fast. Right leg lifts up, breathe in. Step the right foot to the right thumb as you breathe out. Warrior 1, drop the left heel and reach the arms up. Maybe fingers interlaced with the pointer finger up. Exhale, hands down to frame the front foot. Step back into your plank. Option to lower halfway before opening up into your back bend. Down dog with your exhale. Left leg rises as you breathe in. Step it towards the left thumb as you breathe out. Warrior 1 with a breath in. Maybe as the arms reach up, you interlace and the pointer finger reaches up. And as you breathe out, hands down, chaturanga, or right back into your downward facing dog. Finding your flow. From your down dog, inhale, bend the knees, look forward. As you exhale, walk, step, or hop up. Halfway lift with a breath in. And with a breath out, surrender down. Bend the knees, chair pose, sweep the arms forward and up. And as you breathe out, stand tall, slide the hands down to heart center. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Inhale, chair pose, hips move back and down, arms reach up. We're modifying it this time. Hips move down with your exhale. One more breath and reach the fingers up. As you exhale, forward fold, surrender, belly to thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, walk, step, or hop back into your chaturanga. Inhale into your upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, step it forward for warrior one, and then pause once you get there. In this warrior one, hook the left arm under your right for eagle arms, just like when we were on our backs. You can either hold onto your shoulders or double wrap your arms. With an inhale, lift the elbows up, find a mini back bend. And as you exhale, round down into this humble warrior variation. Snuggle that right shoulder inside your right leg, and then firm the right leg into your right shoulder. Take one more breath in, and one more breath out. As you breathe in, slowly rise back up, keep the arms, and come onto the ball of your back foot. Start to tilt your body forward, just like we did before, finding warrior three variation with eagle arms. Lift your left leg up. You can keep a soft bend in your right knee if you need, and then reach the fingers towards the front of your mat. Now slow and with control, draw the left knee in towards your chest. Keep the arms if you can. No problem if you have to touch down. Cross the left knee over the right for eagle pose. Maybe kickstanding your left toes on the floor or double wrapping behind the calf. Sit the hips low, take a big breath in. Breathe out, squeeze the arms and the legs together. You can. Breathe in. Breathe it out. Squeeze. Last time. Unhook the legs. Inhale, sweep the arms around and up. Exhale, forward fold. Let it go all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, chaturanga, or step back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift the left leg up, breathe in. Breathe it out for your warrior one. Step the foot forward, ground the right heel and rise. This time, hook the right arm under the left for eagle arms. Palms can touch or hug your shoulders here. With an inhale, lift the elbows up. Keep the lunge in your front knee. As you exhale, round into this humble warrior variation. And then push the left knee into your left side body. Now slowly start to rise all the way back into your warrior one variation. Come onto the ball of your back foot. Hinge your body forward until you're in that diagonal. And then find a warrior three by lifting your back leg up. As you lift the heel back, try to pull the elbows forward. And then draw the right knee in with control. Come all the way up to one-legged Uttanasana, and then cross the right leg over the left. Either kickstanding the foot on the floor. Take a big breath in, and breathe out, squeeze together. Breathing in, breathing out. There's a child's pose in your future. Unwind, inhale, the arms reach up, press into the feet. Exhale, dive down, letting it go. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, hands down. You can flow back to a chaturanga or simply step back. And we'll meet in a child's pose, dropping the knees, taking the hips towards the heels when you're ready from either your down dog after your vinyasa or coming right into the child's pose. Now take a few breaths from your child's pose. Come back into that 4 in and 4 out, mindfully slowing it back down. I read this thing today that said to try to believe the universe is always conspiring in your favor. And it made me really reflect on how often I thought the world was against me and how that is a construct in our minds. But what if we thought the universe was always conspiring in our favor? How would we see things differently? So I invite you in this child's pose to maybe let go of that conception that the world is against you and instead open up to the fact that everything could be a miracle. It's all in our perspective. One more breath here. And then from here, slowly start to pull back forward into your tabletop, bringing the knees underneath your hips. And then tuck the toes, find your downward facing dog. Now from this downward facing dog, bring your right leg up back behind you. And with the breath out, step it between your hands, finding warrior one legs, but with the fingers on the ground. So drop your left heel, and then with the breath in, lunge into your front knee. And with the breath out, draw the right hip back and straighten the right leg to fold, pyramid pose. Again, lunge into your front knee. This time rise up, warrior one. Breathe in, reach the arms up. And then take the arms behind your back, holding on to opposite elbows. So don't interlace the hands for this one. From here, press into your right big toe and straighten your right leg. And now you might heel toe your right foot a little out to the right to have more space. So your hips face a little more forward. And then from here, keeping your right leg straight, start to hinge at your hips, folding over for this variation of pyramid pose. Round the forehead towards the knee, and you might even choose to bend the knee slightly so that your forehead can maybe touch the knee if it's close, and then push your forehead into the knee. So it's a really rounded pose to start to compress the throat and the glands in the throat. So allow your throat to be as compressed as you can be comfortable. Take one more breath. And then slowly lunge into the front knee, press into the feet to come all the way up. And then release the arms as you parallel the feet to the short edges of the mat and bring the hands to the hips. Hub your feet so that they're even front to back, right to left. And then soften the knees and hug the elbows back. Breathe in, look up. And as you breathe out, hinge at the hips, bringing the hands down to the floor. Now from here, we're going to take a wide-legged down dog. So walk the hands forward, but try to keep the hips over your heels. Hands stay shoulder width distance. And then imagine that somebody was pulling your hips back as your arms continue to reach forward, and maybe even tent the fingertips to exaggerate that. Take one more breath into your side body, and a big breath out. Now slowly start to walk the hands back underneath your shoulders. And then from here, thread your right arm to reach for the outside of your left calf or ankle. Now from here, you can crawl the left fingers back forward, tent the fingers, and then pull gently on your right calf to drop your right shoulder underneath your left. You might even look under your left armpit. Take a big breath in. And then as you breathe out, come back into that wide-legged down dog. Thread your left arm underneath your right shoulder, reaching for the outside of your right ankle now. Tent your right fingers and gently pull on your leg or ankle to dip your left shoulder more under you. And then slowly come all the way back through center. And now soften the knees, walk the hands under your shoulders, and come all the way around to frame your right foot for low lunge. You can step back into a high plank or flow through a vinyasa or right into your down dog from there. Totally up to you here. And then from your downward facing dog, when you do get there, lift your left leg up. Step it through your hands, finding warrior one legs, but keeping the fingertips on the floor. Breathe in, lunge into your front knee. Try to iron out your spine. And as you breathe out, draw that left hip back and fold over your left leg for pyramid pose. Now try to tuck the chin a lot into your chest so you can feel that little bit of tucking in of your throat, compressing the glands in your throat. But do relax the jaw and exaggerate the exhales. Now soften into your left knee. Find a warrior one just for a moment by pressing into your feet and coming up. And then take the hands behind your back. Now if on this side you'd like to take a reverse namaste, flipping the palms to face up and they're together, you're more than welcome to do that. Or same as the other side, hold on to opposite elbows behind you. Straighten your left leg, rotate your right hip and shoulder forward, and then hinge forward. Moving as slow as feels comfortable. You can keep a soft bend in that left knee. Try not to hyperextend. Keep that left leg firm. Throat just slightly choked. And then slowly soften that front knee. Start to press into the feet to come all the way back up. And then parallel your feet. Now you have the option to keep the arms for this fold if you would like, as they are. Soften the knees, inhale, lift your chest. Then as you exhale, hinge at the hips, leading with the chest fold. And you might keep the reverse namaste or the arms behind you. If you really like the hands interlaced variation, feel free to take that as well. Let the head hang, but try to draw the shoulders a little away from the floor. Shift the weight forward and take 2 more breaths. And then slowly release the hands down to the floor. Soften the knees, walk all the way around to frame your left foot, finding your low lunge. Step back into your high plank. You can flow through a vinyasa there, or move right into your downward facing dog. Nice. Now from here, soften the knees, look to the front of your mat, and with your exhale, take a light hop or step up to the front of your mat. Halfway lift with your breath in, and with your breath out, fold down over the legs. With the breath in, root to rise, circle the arms all the way around and up. Then take the hands down to heart center with your exhale. With the breath in, circle the arms around and up. This time, clutch your right wrist with your left hand. Give it a pull up towards the ceiling and then arc your body to the left. Now from here, you have the option to step your right foot back into the left as you continue to push your body to the right. 1 more breath. And then slowly come back through center, arms reach up, feet together. Switch wrists, holding onto your left wrist, pull it up and over to your right. And then step your left foot back and over to the right. That's an option you can skip. Keep pushing your hips to the left as you arc your body to the right. And then slowly come back through center, inhale, reach up. Join the hands, bring them down to heart center in front of you. Now from here, interlace all 10 fingers and then take your pointer fingers up towards the ceiling and then straighten the arms up towards the ceiling. Glue the biceps towards the ears. Now take the tailbone a little towards the floor and press your feet into the floor to firm the legs. From here, lift your arms higher and then start to arc your body up and back into a back bend. Now as you do that, you can push your hips a little forward, but imagine somebody's hand was right behind your heart and they were pushing it up towards the ceiling. Take a big breath in. Then as you breathe out, soften the knees, come out of the back bend and forward fold. Really slow. Melt your body down, exaggerate out of the back bend. Heel to the feet a little wider. Take a breath in, come halfway up. As you breathe out, bring the hands down. You can walk, step, or float back into a chaturanga. Inhale into an upward facing dog or a low cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Bring the legs together and with a breath in, lift your right leg up. And with the breath out, step it through your hands. Now this time, tap your left knee down to the mat and press into your right foot to rise up into an Anjaneyasana. Now from here, we'll take the palms together above your head, but don't interlace your fingers. Now bend the elbows, taking the hands behind your head. Now if this is already a little too much, you can hold on to the elbows above your head, just like we did behind our back. From here, let your head fall back into your forearms as you lift your chest up. Again, imagine that hand behind your upper ribs, pushing your chest up. Now lunge into your front leg a little bit more. Take a big breath in. And with your breath out, slowly release the hands down to frame your right foot. Reach your right arm up towards the ceiling and then reach for the top of your left foot behind you. Now, if that's a little bit too far, you can always take your left hand onto your thigh or onto a block. Hug the heel in towards your sit bone and rotate your chest back. If this is feeling really open for you, you might lower onto your left forearm and hold your right ankle with your left hand. And if you're doing that, push into your left forearm and lean your right shoulder back. 1 more breath. And then slowly release the foot. Come back up onto your hands if you've dropped onto your forearm. Tuck your left toes and lift your right leg up. Now sweep your right leg up and back, one-legged down dog, opening up the hips again. Bend the right knee so the right hip stacks over the left. And you can either take hip circles this time or flip your dog, tapping the right foot behind you, pushing the hips up and reaching back. If you flipped, drop the hips towards the floor and push into your right foot to come back into your downward facing dog. If you want a vinyasa between sides, feel free to pull forward into a plank here, lowering halfway with your exhale and control. Inhale, up dog or cobra. exhale, down dog. And this time the left leg rises with your breath in. With your breath out, step it through your hands. Tapping the right knee down this time. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. And same thing with that variation, either palms together and bending the elbows behind your head, or you can hold on to opposite elbows. From here, point the elbows straight towards the ceiling, take the tailbone a little towards the floor, and then lean the head back, either into your forearms or draw the elbows back. Take a big breath in, lunge forward with your breath out. One more breath. And then release the hands down to frame the left foot. Keep your right hand down, reach the left arm up, and reach for the top of your back foot behind you, hugging the heel in towards your sit bone. Wrap the right shoulder under you. Again, you can lower onto that right forearm if you'd like, clutching your left ankle with your right wrist, so that right forearm is parallel to the front of your mat. Lean the left shoulder back, pull the heel in, and then slowly release, hands down. Tuck your right toes, lift your back leg up, and sweep the left leg up and back behind you, one-legged down dog. And then bend the left knee, open the left hip over the right. Now from here you have the option to stay, finding hip circles, or flip all the way over with control, tapping the left foot down. If you flipped, lower the hips a little towards the floor, and then push into your left foot to flip back into your dog. That vinyasa is there if you'd like it. Actually, let's all lower all the way down to your belly, since that's where we're going next anyways. Lower all the way down. Now keep the hands framing your chest right towards your ribs, and just straighten your right arm out to the right so it's at a 90-degree angle from your body. Palm is flat, bend your left knee, look to the left, and push into your left hand to roll to your right side. Step your left foot on the floor, and relax your head and your jaw. If you'd like, you can take your left hand to your low back behind you, encouraging more twist, more opening in that right shoulder. It's not too much twist in the spine, rather it's twisting in the shoulder. Take one more breath, connecting to the earth, let your body land. And then take the left hand in front of your chest. If you've moved it, use it as brakes to roll back onto your belly. And same thing other side, slide your right hand in, straighten your left arm out to the left, 90-degree angle from your body. Look to your right, bend your right knee, and roll over to your left side, stepping the right foot somewhere on the floor behind your left leg. You can always take the right hand to your low back if you'd like a little more. Relax the head and the jaw. Let your body land on the earth, the breath arrive into your body. Now slowly bring the right hand back down in front of your chest. Use it as brakes to come all the way back down onto your belly. And then from here, both hands in, press up into your tabletop position. And then into your downward facing dog, tuck the toes, take the hips up and back. And now from your down dog, take your feet as wide as your hips and tap the knees down to the mat and come to stand up on your knees. Again, blanket underneath your knees is always an option here. Now from here, we'll interlace the hands first behind the back of your head and then pull the elbows back so they feel like they're kind of in line with the trunk of your body. Take the chin a little in so you feel the back of your head lift up. And then imagine that that hand was right behind your heart again. Imagine from there it starts to push up. So it's an upward motion in your chest, maximum back bend. Your head naturally starts to fall back into your hands. So maximum back bend is in your rib cage, almost none in your low back. And in fact, take the tailbone a little towards the floor so your glutes engage. One more breath. And then slowly come back up out of this back bend. And it's very minimal, but the sensations are a lot. Release the arms. Take the hands to the low back. You can either take the same variation with the hands behind the head or continue to deepen. Hold the elbows back, push your tailbone down, and lift your chest up again, like that hand was there. Now from here, you can stay with the hands on the low back, or one at a time, walk the hands onto your heel for full variation of camel. Push the hips forward, push the chest up like you're a pole vaulter and you wanted to go up and over rather than back and down. Take one more big exaggerated inhale, One more exhale. One at a time, hands to the low back. Unfurl the spine, untuck the toes, sit the hips on the heels. Bring one hand to the low belly, one hand to the heart. Breathe and simply listen. Come back to that bench, back to being witness. One more big breath in. And a big breath out. And slowly start to blink the eyes open. Take the hands onto your mat, finding a tabletop position. And then a downward facing dog by tucking the toes and taking the hips up and back. Now slowly tiptoe the feet all the way up to the hands. Finding a forward fold, taking the feet as wide as your outer hips. Soften both your knees a lot and let your body hang down in this Ragdoll pose. Let your head go. If you want to, again, find a different variation of Ragdoll, maybe holding elbows or hands behind the head, letting the elbows soften in. Find some release in your spine. One more breath here. And then from here, slowly find a halfway lift, keeping the knees bent a lot, and then take your left fingertips right underneath your face on the floor or on a block, and reach your right arm up as you straighten the right leg, draw the right hip back. Take a full breath in, maybe peek up at your right hand, and as you breathe out, bend the knees and come back over into your fold. Switch your hands, right fingertips down, left arm reaches up as you straighten the left leg, draw the left hip back. And then slowly fold back down. Find a halfway lift through center. And exhale to fold through center. Inhale, root to rise. Sweep the arms around and up, getting really tall and long. Hands to heart center with your exhale. Heel toe the feet a little closer. Inhale, sweep the arms around and up, pressing into the feet. Exhale, forward fold, soft knees as you melt down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down. You can take one last chaturanga if you would like, or move into your downward facing dog straight from your fold. Totally up to you. And then from this down dog, we're gonna come to a seated position, so you can attempt to bend the knees and maybe jump through your legs, or just tap the knees down and come to a seat. And if you would like to sit up on your blanket, if you have a tight low back today, feel free to adjust that there. And we'll start first by drawing the right knee in towards you with the right foot flat onto the floor. Now from here, hug that leg in with your left arm deep, but you're gonna twist in the other direction. Hug that leg in with your left arm, take the right hand behind you, sit tall, and start to twist, looking over your right shoulder. So Deepa, yours will look like this, twisting away from your leg. Yeah, exactly. Now use the hand behind you so you can rock a little forward onto your sit bones so you're nice and tall in your spine. And then slowly we'll start to unwind back to face forward. Now from here, let your outer right thigh fall down towards the floor. Left leg is extended. And if this right knee is sore, feel free to prop it up with a blanket. Bring both hands to frame your left leg and start to walk your hands forward into this Janu Shavasana head to knee pose. Again, you get that rounded benefit of the spine. So if it feels good to exaggerate that by tucking the chin to the chest and bringing the forehead towards the knee, you're more than welcome to do that. Take a few breaths into the right ribs and the right low back, feeling that release. And slowly start to walk the hands back in towards your trunk again, sitting up. And then straighten out both your legs. Now from here, draw the left knee in. Take the left foot flat. Hug it in with your right arm. Take your left hand behind you. So Deepa, you'd be your left arm hugging the leg, or to the inside of the leg rather. Yeah, there you go. And then sit up tall and start to twist to your left. You can look over the left shoulder and use the hand behind you like a second spine, like a prop to lift your heart up more. And then slowly start to unwind back to center. Let your outer left thigh come down so the left foot is in the inside of your right thigh. Again, maybe propping up that knee if you need. Both hands frame the right foot and start to walk the hands forward into your forward fold. Maybe you hold onto the leg somewhere, or maybe if you need a little more grounding, keep the hands on the ground flat. It's always an option that can feel really nice to connect to the earth. Maybe exaggerating the rounding in your spine. You can exaggerate the exhales. And slowly start to walk the hands back in towards you, coming up to a seat. And now from here, we'll draw the right knee in, so both the knees are in, and you could bring the soles of the feet together and the knees wide apart. Now, some people like to peel the bottoms of the feet apart as well, so that you're looking at the bottoms of your feet, but that's really up to your ankles and your knees. So whichever feels better for you. Hold on to your ankles and give yourself a little tug to lift your chest up. And then from your chin, start to round your spine by tucking the chin. Feel that rounding behind your heart space, in the middle of your back, in the low back. And let your head just kind of hang down towards your toes. And you might keep this active for a few breaths by pulling down and pushing your arms into your legs. But eventually find a bit of surrender by taking the backs of your hands on the floor and the palms up towards the sky. And again, if you want more grounding, palms face down on the ground is a great way to get grounded. Relax the jaw, and that place where the hand was in the back of your heart before, again, imagine it there, but this time just as a reminder to soften there. And notice how much you're actually able to let go. Slowly start to come all the way back up, rolling until your head comes up last. And now we'll straighten the legs wide right to left. And sitting on something can always help to give a little bit more support in the low back if your hamstrings are tight. Hands in front of your pubic bone on the floor. Toes point towards the ceiling. Just start to walk the hands a little forward. Roll the feet away from one another. Maybe you keep walking forward until you find your fullest expression of this pose. And again, maybe that little eye on the bench this is where it likes to talk on where it thinks you should be. Start to find that quiet space again. And just being together with your higher self, your body, your breath. And just letting the little eye be there. Slowly start to walk the hands back in towards you. Take the hands behind the knees and draw them in, and then straighten the legs right out in front of you. And then remove the flesh from around your sit bones. And now with an inhale, reach the arms up, sit nice and tall. And as you breathe out, hinge at the hips, reaching for your feet. Maybe you hold on to the legs somewhere or use a strap around your feet. And then give yourself a gentle tug forward and relax the head down towards the shins. Breathe into the upper back again as if that hand was there as just a reminder to let go. One more breath here. And slowly start to come all the way back up to seated. And then from here we'll come to lay down on your back, or you can support your upper back if you need with a bolster. I'll show you what that would look like just in case you're not sure. It might look something like this, or if you have a block, you might slip it under the top of your bolster so that your head is a little bit elevated. My blocks are holding up the computer, or else I would show you that. Once you're on your back, bend your knees, take your feet flat onto the floor, and then cross the right ankle over your left thigh, flexing the right toes, push the right thigh away from you. And then you can interlace the hands behind the back of your left thigh, hugging that shape in towards you. As you do that, you might push the right elbow out a little out into your right thigh. If you'd like a deeper stretch, you can always hold that right ankle with your left hand and then put your left foot back on the floor and maybe even straighten the left leg along the floor. Even deeper would be putting the elbow around your right leg. I don't know if I can really show you this right now. We haven't done too much hip opening in this direction, so don't feel like you have to go for the deepest variation just because you have open hips. Simply take what actually feels just like a little bit of a stretch. No need to go to your deepest expression all the time. Feel the sound of your breath. From here, we'll release the interlace, tap the left foot onto the floor, and now cross your legs completely so there's no space between your thighs and your right thigh is on top. Now shift your hips just a little over to the right on the floor and let your legs fall to the left, and you can reach your right arm to the right, maybe look over the right shoulder. Now if it feels uncomfortable to twist with the legs wound like this, you can unwind them and take any variation of twist that feels good. This is a yin pose called twisted root. Kind of reminds me of some of the carrots I've seen at farmers markets sometimes. And slowly bring your legs back up through center, your hips through neutral, and uncross the legs. Now from here, cross the left ankle over your right thigh, flexing the left toes, move the left thigh away from you. An option to interlace the hands behind the back of the right thigh. Finding your pose today, if you want to take it to that deeper expression, holding the leg and maybe straightening the right leg, or slipping the foot into your right elbow and holding the leg in. But try to avoid the temptation that's coming from the little I and not from the higher perspective, what you actually need today. And from here, slowly tap the right foot down to the floor. Slide the left calf over the thigh, so now the thighs are stacked. Shift your hips a little to the left and let your legs fall to the right for twisted root. You can reach your left arm to the left and maybe look over that shoulder as well. Taking a few breaths here, finding some surrender as you try to stay in your body. And slowly bring the legs back up through center. Shift your hips and uncross the legs. Now from here, we're going to take one hugging in of the knees. So if you'd like, you could take the knees a little wider or keep them together, giving yourself a compact hug. We're going to end tonight with a pranayama technique or a breathing exercise. Now this could be practiced either seated or laying down on your back, so whichever you prefer. If you'd like to take it seated, you can take the hands behind the thighs and rock and roll up to a seat. If you'd like to stay on your back, feel free to stay on your back and make yourself comfortable. If you're sitting, make sure that your seat is comfortable so you can sit tall without your back or your hips talking too much to you. And if that means sitting up on something, go ahead and do that. Now, if you're in a seat, take the palms face up so the back of the hands are on the legs. And if you're laying on your back, you can do the same thing. So the back of your hands are on the floor. Close your eyes. And this breathing technique is called Lola Pranayama. And it's meant to soothe the nervous system and quiet the mind. So it'll consist of 3 pauses on the exhale. So we'll exhale in thirds. We'll start first by exhaling all the air out together so we feel that emptiness in the low belly. And then take a full breath in, filling all the way up. And then exhale just a third of the breath and then pause for a moment. Exhale the second third and hold. Exhale the final third all the way to the bottom. Feel the low belly draw in. Hold on empty. Then take a big breath in through the nose. Out through the mouth, letting it go completely. Now take a full breath in. Taking a second round here. Exhale a third of the breath. Hold. Exhale the second third of the breath. Hold for a moment. Exhale the final third, all the breath out, pausing on empty. Full breath in through the nose. Breath out through the mouth. Breathing in fully. Take 2 more rounds on your own. Once you've finished with your final rounds, just come back to your natural breathing for a few moments. You're in a seated meditation and feeling like this is where you'd like to end and stay in your Shavasana like this, feel free to stay. If you'd like to, just when you're ready, softly blink the eyes open and make your way onto your back. You're more than welcome to make your way to any position you'd like to end your practice today. If you'd like to elevate your legs on the wall or on a chair or something, maybe just a pillow under the backs of your knees or under your upper back. Make yourself totally comfortable. And then finding a position where your body feels like it can completely relax from sending signals to your brain. And then take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Feel your body settle as we begin to enter again into that union of your higher self, integrating into your body, your mind, your spirit. Gurave Sachitananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachitananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachitananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Om. Again, begin to deepen your breath. If you have remained on your back, when you feel ready, you might blink the eyes open or start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, or any small movements to bring awareness back into your body. Maybe rolling to one side before pressing yourself up with a heavy head to meet us in a seat. And then there's no rush. Once you are in your seat, bring your left palm face down over your heart, and then take your right hand on top of your left hand. And begin by just feeling that sensation of the warmth, the weight of your hands over your heart. Maybe imagine again that hand on the back of your heart as well. Feeling each breath like a little massage for your heart center. Take a moment to cultivate a feeling of connectedness to each other, to your environment around you. Maybe the people in your home or your neighbors. And taking a moment in the end of our practice to just send out loving kindness to all living beings everywhere. From here, join the hands together in front of your heart in Anjali Mudra. Let your next breath in be exaggerated, big and bright. And as you exhale, exaggerate it out as you let the head fall towards the hands. Bowing to your highest self and the highest self of everyone around you. From the bottom of my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you so much for joining this practice. If you have any feedback, feel free to leave it in a comment below or to message me. You can find me on Instagram at pretty_awesome_girl or or leave a comment on YouTube. Thank you so much. Bye.